All right, guys, what's going on? Today we'll go over the economics, global economics, a topic that always fascinates me. So, the central theme right now in this moment is the relationship between the US and China. During the Trump administration, one of the major themes that I've noticed is the open relationship with other countries. We haven't seen this level of dialogue with other countries on a consistent basis. Now, good or bad, it's a dialogue that's pretty consistent. Obviously, there's some major examples. It's been about a year since we've done the global tariff, so all those tariff trade war style conversations that we had, the negotiating tools that were brought to the table worked very successfully. And it's important, one, the country, the United States of America, has produced significant amounts of tariff revenue. It has disrupted a lot of supply chains. It has definitely harmed quite a few businesses, particularly specific niche industries. But it has given the country tremendous strength in negotiating with other countries and most importantly, reshifting the world order of which direction the global powers are going to move forward. I think for many years we thought that the European Union, specific countries in Asia, ex China, and then these other countries that weren't allies, Russia, the parts of the Middle East, particularly Iran, Venezuela, South America, we were giving them too much power in the scope of global media. And it was important to understand that these countries, Ukraine was an example, these countries weren't doing a good job of being allies of the United States. And that came to either global trade, it came to either our troops, came to our people, came to our citizens, came to our companies, came to our employees, came to all the vendors, everything you could think about. And most importantly, the United States, our own employees weren't taken care of, our wages were getting suppressed, our products weren't being popularized, we weren't making it in America, we weren't manufacturing. So these are really strange things that have been happening. We kind of globalized the world and we kind of undressed the United States. We reversed that world order. There's a lot going on in the world still today, but the United States now has I've seen numbers of $2 to $8 trillion has been either allocated, invested, or committed to be invested into the country over the next several years. I've never seen that level of commitment in dollars in the United States. It's always been for the last, like, since I can remember, from 2008, 2012, 2016, it was something like the BRICS. You got to invest in Brazil, India, China, Russia, etc., etc. Nonsense. You got to invest in Europe because diversify your portfolio. Nonsense. You got to do this. You got to do this. You got to invest in these countries. Very few people are saying that you have to invest in the United States. Even though everybody buys treasury bonds, treasury bills, and notes because they have tremendous trust in the United States government, because we have a monopoly, our military power is very strong. So the United States has reversed that world order. We've taken back our leadership position, created authority. In that process, a lot of companies have come onshore. A lot more companies want to do business with us from other countries. Countries are coming to us as opposed to the other way around. And right now, President Trump, his administration, and some of the world leaders, actually, I shouldn't even say world leaders, because they are world leaders, but they're actually American executives. So Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, etc. Jensen from NVIDIA, David Solomon, Goldman Sachs, Steve Schwarzman, Blackstone, Larry Fink, BlackRock, the guys from Intel, Qualcomm, Apple, Tim Cook, a multitude, Larry Culp from GE, major U.S. corporations, headquartered in the United States, employ significant employees that are American, have gone to China, are going to talk to President Xi and everybody else on his team. And they're, one of the major things, for example, is NVIDIA wants to sell chips to China. Why? Because it's a big market. They're a great customer. They're a great partner in many cases. They're a great trade and for global trade. And there's a problem that China has this literal digital wall, a cyber wall, not the Great Wall, but the cyber wall, where they won't allow foreign companies to come into the country, but they have no problem exporting their products, services, and ideas and whatnot to other countries, not just in America, but every country in the world. So that restricts us. It's an unfair trade. It's very imbalanced. It's very well known. Google cannot. The search engine doesn't exist, to my knowledge, in China. Facebook has a competitor social network in China. Many other brands, products. We also don't accept some of their products, like Huawei, the telecom provider, competes with like a Cisco and other IP provider, network provider products. We don't accept their products, or we don't widely accept them, because we have fears about their products and how they control their software and hardware. So we also have export controls. We don't sell NVIDIA's best latest chips because we have export controls. But right now, the conversation's open. I've never seen so many CEOs, tech CEOs, with the presidential administration, in this case, the Trump administration, going to a foreign country as a group, as a collective, and saying, hey, we're going to do 1 through 20. Each industry is going to get a piece. We want to do this with this country. We want to do this with this country. We want to do global trade, literal trade, not to talk about globalization, but to actually get out there and say, we produce this many Teslas. We would like to produce 10 times many. We produce this many data centers. We need to produce this many more things from GE. We need this many more GPUs. We want this level of talent. We want to provide you guys with this many resources. And I think China's already a superpower. I think they're the only country that's an equivalent superpower to the United States. No other country, not even India. The European Union doesn't even exist in global trade, as far as I'm concerned. They're waiting for other countries to take the lead. Japan. But China, in size, capability, resources, talent, just raw intel, and everything else that's going behind the scenes, they are an equal partner in the United States. And the Trump administration respects that. They're trying to do things that's going over there in a positive manner for both parties. I think it will work out. I don't know which industry or how it will. I would love to see semiconductors and other things in the material space do well. I don't know which way it's heading, but it does look like it's a positive direction, particularly because the CEOs, leaders of these trillion-dollar businesses, Blackstone, BlackRock, Tesla, NVIDIA, Apple, etc., are out there and shaking hands and saying, we need to do deals, or we need to at least figure out the bottlenecks and the problems across these businesses so we can figure out how to solve them at specific points over time. So it may not happen today. It might be the beginning, but I'll tell you that if it does happen and there's something that gets unlocked, we'll see like a golden age, both in both in the U.S. and in China, which if they do well as trading partners, then everybody else will benefit because we're so big, we're so large, and both of us take over the Eastern and Western hemisphere. So it's a net positive for everybody. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be very exciting to follow along.